We're already in Week 10. In fact, it got underway on Thursday, actually, when the Ravens took on the Falcons. And, of course, our pros and experts from fantasyfootballstarters.com. We have Russ, I was going to flip-flop your names. Wow. Russ Bliss and
We've been
Jeff
morphed
Cortini.
into one.
It would just be so much easier that way, guys. Let's just make your name one name. How are you doing this morning?
We're doing really good, thanks.
Very good.
It's Week 10.
I know.
We got injuries.
Where did this year go by?
I know. Last week of bye weeks, all kinds of stuff. Huh?
All right, let's talk about the injury list first, because this will definitely give folks an idea of who not to start.
Well, we'll start off with the Arizona Cardinals taking on Seattle, and Seattle's quarterback Matt Hasselbeck. He missed last week because of a concussion. However, he is going to play this week, so he's back in the starting lineup for the Seattle Seahawks. You've also got Matt Stafford of the Detroit Lions. He's going to miss the next several weeks. He aggravated the shoulder injury that he had originally that kept him out a few games earlier this season.
Okay.
At running back, you've also got problems with Joseph Adai of the Indianapolis Colts. He's doubtful, not going to play. Jonathan Stewart and D'Angelo Williams of the Carolina Panthers. Both of these guys are out. They're not going to play. Mike Goodson's going to get the start for Carolina.
Might be a good pick there, too.
Yeah. And
wide receivers?
At wide receivers, you've got Steve Smith of the New York Giants. He's an addition on this because he suffered an injury in practice this week. He's going to miss a couple of weeks. So Mario Manningham takes over. Austin Collie of the Colts also out for this game because of a concussion. And tight end Owen Daniels of the Houston Texans. They're sitting him down. He's having some problems with his hamstring. Also the knee that he had surgically rebuilt last year after he tore his ACL. So he's going to miss this week as well.
This is when it really matters on who is sitting on your bench, because, because we've seen so many injuries, as you guys say, as we progress week after week. All right, talk about bye weeks. Some high-powered offenses on bye weeks this
no
week.
kidding. Green Bay Packers. So that means if you have Aaron Rodgers or you've got Greg Jennings, you can't start him. Got to sit him on the bench. New Orleans Saints, Drew Brees, Marquise Colston, Jeremy Shockey. Those guys you can't play. Oakland Raiders, Darren McFadden's been a heck of a play at running back this year. You've got to sit him and San Diego Chargers. Very high-powered offense. Phillip Rivers, Antonio Gates, Malcolm Floyd, not going to start those guys. And the good news, Tess, is this is the last week of bye week. So going forward, folks that are playing fantasy football don't have to worry about bye weeks.
All right. Just looking forward to whoever your best players are. You can start them at
that in the waiver wire.
All right. We also, of course, we've covered the injuries. We've covered the bye weeks. We also cover who's a good start today. Some of the good plays this week, Russ.
Well, a great one. If you don't have one of the elite quarterbacks, look for David Garrard to have a big game today. The Houston Texans are one of the worst pass defenses in the NFL. They are the worst pass defense in the NFL. They give up more yards than anyone through the air. They've allowed 20 passing touchdowns in 8 games so far this season. Definitely David Garrard is an excellent play. Great matchup for him and those wide receivers, Mike Sims-Walker and Mike Thomas.
All right.
Now, at running back, you've got Cedric Benson of the Cincinnati Bengals. Cedric Benson's one of those bigger, faster, stronger running backs that the Indianapolis Colts, with their smaller defense, really struggles to defend. They're one of the weaker run defenses in the NFL. Cedric Benson, who has not performed well so far this year, definitely a good play this week.
Today's his day.
Yeah, but
today is his day.
Can't forget T.O. Plus, you need Benson to play well. You started him over Roddy White, who ended up going off. So I got to give him a little hard time about that test.
And then at wide receiver, Mike Wallace of the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Pittsburgh Steelers, they haven't been throwing the ball as much lately, but I really think against the New England Patriots today, Patriots have been very soft against the pass, and Mike Wallace is a big play wide receiver in their offense. I think that Ben Roethlisberger is going to hook up with him quite a few times today.
Make those connections. Yeah. Okay, very good. Here at home, of course, the Cardinals taking on the Seahawks this afternoon. From a fantasy football perspective, what should we be looking forward to?
You know, it's been interesting, Tess. Right now, it's a divisional game. It's going to be close. We're probably predicting another loss for the Cardinals, 17-14. That's what our lineup analyzer says this morning.
Okay.
A lot of discussion around Larry Fitzgerald and Derek Anderson these days. They have not built up a rapport yet, and candidly, you saw it last week. One of the things that the Cardinals are struggling with is their running game. That's why their offense ranks 31st out of 32 teams.
Gosh,
their
is it
defense
that bad? I didn't realize
we
were all the way
down. So
down
they can't
there.
get it going. Right now, this week, we're looking at probably Larry Fitzgerald maybe for 80 yards. I think he's going to have a touchdown. But as far as Derek Anderson goes, he's been struggling. He's not as accurate of a passer. Their running game, they're not giving them the opportunity to control it. Look for him to struggle, maybe 18 for 33 passing, maybe 220 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. But what we're starting to see now is if you don't have a running game, you cannot control the ball. Time of the possession communication is critical. When your offense, the best defense is a good offense, right? And the Cardinals just aren't in sync yet. And I think Larry Fitzgerald, the good news is they're playing at home a little. They play a little bit better at home.
Sure,
this will be a close game, I think, Russ. I know you're probably going to predict the Cardinals again, but if you do, it'll be the 3rd week in a row that you were off, buddies. You got to stick to our lineup analyzer.
Someone that the Cards have to watch is the Seahawks wide receiver Mike Williams.
Yeah, Mike Williams in the first game against the Arizona Cardinals. Mike Williams went off for 11 catches, 87 yards, and a touchdown in that game up at Quest Field in Seattle. The Cardinals have got to find a way of stopping him. He's a big wide receiver. He's 6'5", he's 230 pounds, he's very physical, he's not that fast, but he can definitely go up and cause all sorts of matchup problems against any of the Cardinals' defenders. So they really have to make sure that they take him out of the game, and that way the Arizona Cardinals can actually focus on stopping the run, something that they've been pretty good at. Not exceptional at, but pretty good at when they've had to be.
Yeah.
All right. Now, NFC West up for grabs at this point, right?
Yep, and you got the Niners and the Rams playing. So if the Cardinals pull this off and the Rams lose, they'll position themselves again. But this division is still up for grabs, Tess. It's amazing. It's the worst division in football right now. And the Cardinals, all 4 teams are struggling a bit.
Oh, I won't say there's always next year, but there is still always next year. We won't
there's
get
still
that
always
grand.
the rest of this year, too.
That's
exactly. All right, before we go, of course, you guys always have an offer for our viewers.
Yes, we do. And the first person this week that emails Jeff who can name the Arizona Cardinal player who returned a fumbled Vikings kickoff return for a touchdown to open the second half of the last week's game. Now, last week's game was a disappointed one, right? They came back, they almost won that.
That was a great game.
But if you email Jeff at fantasyfootballstarters.com, again, email me. The first person to email the correct answer will win our championship plan, which gives them access to all our analyzer tools, all the smart alerts that Russ sends out, all of our premium content, unlimited access. All they got to do is email Jeff at fantasyfootballstarters.com.
All right. A must-have for playoffs if you make it there on your fantasy football team. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next Sunday for Week 11.
Thank you.